the JayGravesReport College Football Weekly Preview, Week 14. Y'all know how we get it in, so let's get it in. Previewing the top 5 ball games of the weekend, so let's get right to it. Now, this weekend is special because they call this the rivalry week. All the big games. Now, I hate to break the news to you, bruh, but there's no such thing as a rivalry game in the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys, the Duns that play for the Dallas Cowboys, could care less if they're playing for the Washington Redskins. As long as the check is right, they ain't tripping. But boys, in these college rivalry games, they've been waiting to play in these games their whole lives. When they were little kids, the line was drawn in the sand, bruh. So let's move on to the first ball game. Let's go out to the Pac-12, where we got number 22, UCLA, going across town to play in the Coliseum, to play the number 23 USC Trojans. Now, my man Ed Orgeron got these boys rolling at USC. Ever since they Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin, these boys 6-1. Matter of fact, they on a 6-game winning streak under this done. Now, here's the deal. USC has won 12 out the last 14 of these ball games, including last year's ball game when they beat UCLA at UCLA. Now, so UCLA comes into this game with a dub loss. They lost last week to Arizona State, 38-33. They was dumb, turning the ball over. Can't turn the ball over in big ball games. Now, I'm going to say I'm going with the USC Trojans, A, because they playing at the crib, and Ed Orgeron got boys hype right now. He keeps winning like this, they got a hind, bruh. Let's move on to the next ball game. Let's go down to the ACC. We got number 6 Clemson going to Williams-Brice Stadium to play the number 10 South Kakalaki Gamecocks. Now, here's the deal. All these boys out here forgot all about Clemson. Clemson's 10-1, bruh. At least they did get the doors blown off of them when Famous Jameis came to town. They got beat 51-14, and everybody forgot about him. But Taj Boyd been putting in work. He comes into this ball game with more than 3,200 yards and 29 touchdowns. They averaging 42 points a game and putting up more than 515 yards of total offense. Now, I know you sitting on the other side saying Jadeveon Clowney can slow him down. Let me tell you something, bruh. Jadeveon Clowney plays one position. All they got to do is throw the ball away from him. Keep the ball away from him. He don't affect the game like boys think he does, because he don't run the ball, he don't throw the ball, and he don't catch the ball, bruh. Playing defensive tackle, you not making that much of an impact on the game, especially if they getting rid of the ball with bubble screens and quick throws. It is what it is. So I'm going with Clemson to beat the doors off these boys, even though they playing on the road. Let's move on to the next ball game. Let's go down to the Sunshine State, where the big rivalry game is. Number 2, Florida State comes into this ball game going down to Gainesville to play the Florida Gators. The dumb Florida Gators. These duns coming into this ball game 4-7. Now, all the Gator fans out there try to tell me, man, we got crazy injuries. It doesn't matter how many injuries you have. If you lose to Vandy at the crib, then you turn around and lose to Georgia Southern at the crib, bruh. Dude, the Duns on the scout team can beat Georgia Southern and Vandy. I don't want to hear anybody else say anything about Florida, because here's the difference between Florida and Ohio State right now. Urban Meyer. Let's move on to the next ball game, because Florida State is gonna beat these Duns so bad they're gonna change the name from the swamp to the kiddie pool. Let's move on to the Big Ten. Let's go to the game. We got number 3, Ohio State goes to Ann Arbor to play at Michigan Stadium in front of 115,000 to play the Michigan Wolverines. The dumb Michigan Wolverines come into this game with a record of 3-4 in the Big Ten. You know why they got a 3-4 record in the Big Ten? Because somebody talked Devin Gardner into wearing a fat number 98. Tom Harmon, the 1940 Heisman Trophy at Michigan. Somebody talked this done into wearing that jersey. You can't run around and play quarterback with number 98, bruh. You just cursed the whole freaking team when you put that jersey on. Now, Ohio State comes into this game on a 23-game winning streak, bruh. They putting up more than 55 points a game. In the last 4 ball games, they put up more than 597 yards on Duns. They gonna beat the brakes off of the Michigan Wolverines this weekend, bruh. Like I told you before, the difference between Florida and Ohio State right now is Urban Meyer. Let's move on to the next ball game. Let's go down to the big ball game. Let's go down to the SEC. We got number 1, Alabama, goes to old dumb Jordan Hare Stadium to play the number 4 Auburn Tigers. Now, Alabama comes into this game undefeated, rolling. Best team in the country. All that. Auburn sitting in the cut. 10-1. Putting up numbers. Here's the deal. What boys forgetting about, both Auburn and Alabama average 39 points a game. Wash. Auburn can't throw the ball over their shoulder. Nick Marshall can't throw the ball over his shoulder. He only averages 179 yards in the air. But Alabama's not that much better. They're only averaging 233 yards on the ground. So in the air. So that's a wash. Here's the difference. Auburn is the number 2 team in the country at running the ball. They're averaging 320 yards on the ground. Alabama's only averaging 211 yards on the ground, which is 24th in the country. The major difference in this ball game, which boys are not thinking about, is a Dun named Harvey Updike. Harvey Updike is the Dun that went to Toomer's Corner in 2010 and poisoned the trees. Got boys down there fired up. This is the first time both these teams have come into this game in the top 5 since 1971 when Alabama won the game, but Pat Sullivan from Auburn won the Heisman Trophy that year. So Harvey Updike got these boys dandruff up, and the Alabama Crimson Tide goes down this weekend, bro. I keep telling you, Ohio State and Florida State for the national championship. I'm going to look like a genius when it's all over. It's your man, Jay Graves Report, from the JayGravesReport.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at JayGravesReport and holla at your boy.